Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses and practices, and to leave a legacy. I'm doing a series of spotlights on remarkable business intermediaries and brokers from across the country. And joining me on this segment is Nicholas Brown with Dragonflip. Nicholas, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your work and tell us specifically who are the types of clients that you specialize in working with and helping.
Yeah, happy to go into that. As you mentioned, Dragonflip, we were founded in 2017 in Germany. That's where our co-founders are from. But we specialize in the mergers and acquisitions of e-commerce businesses. So we're usually working with either a single owner or a small group of business owners who started growing their e-commerce businesses, maybe on Amazon, Shopify, and have expanded and are looking to exit because maybe they hit an inflection point and don't have the internal resources to continue to grow and have their brands reach the potential. So they come to us and we help prepare their businesses, get them ready to go to market, give them a fair evaluation, and then we're with them throughout the process until the money is in their hands through post due diligence.
Very unique. We're coming out of a pandemic now, and I'm curious about e-commerce businesses. How has that affected your particular segment and clients? Has this been a good time to sell an e-commerce business, and what effect has the pandemic had on the business?
Yeah, I've been in this industry since 2015, so I've been there when the normal valuations or normal exit multiples were around a 2.5x. Since the pandemic, really, they've had a large influx of Amazon aggregators, is what they're called, but it's a lot of groups and investment groups coming in with a lot of money to buy Amazon brands, quality brands, and kind of use economies of scale to put them in under one umbrella and grow and expand to other marketplaces outside of Amazon or outside of the US and to Europe, Australia, and even Asia. So the pandemic obviously increased e-commerce significantly in the past 2 years. And the average multiple has gone from, like I said, when I started in 2015, around a 2.5x. Our average exit multiples last year were around a 4x. And I've seen some as high as 5 and 6x just because there's so much capital in the market looking for quality brands. So I would say it's been a pretty good time to sell your business, especially 2020, 2021. Going into 2022, we've noticed a little bit of evening out or normalization of these multiples. In addition to inflation, the war in Ukraine has had an impact, especially on the buyers and sellers living in Europe. So still a pretty good market, but we haven't seen that steady increase of multiples in 2022 that we were seeing in 2021 and 2020.
Very fascinating insight. And these owners of these e-commerce businesses, with this pandemic and all of a sudden that increase in e-commerce business, have they been considering more like selling versus like maybe they weren't even thinking about selling before? Has it sparked an interest in selling because of those multiples?
Yeah, I think the multiples increasing, and then the term Amazon aggregator, everyone knows that term now, or at least if you're in the e-commerce business, you know the term. So we've had a lot more interest in people just wanting to know what the market value of their business is. And once we tell them, based on our experience and our internal modeling, they are a lot more interested in potentially exiting if they can see if they can exit at a 4x multiple. They're basically in their heads judging, should I continue to work in this business for 4 more years, or I can exit right now and start something else, maybe another brand, and exit that one in 4 years. So we've definitely seen an influx of interest and individuals and business owners deciding that now is the time to exit.
So these e-commerce business owners, tell us a little bit about them. They had a fascination, built an online store or some sort of a business online, and they're passionate about growth, growth, growth. Were they really thinking about selling? And if they were, how many of the folks know where to start when it comes to selling a business? What's your experience been?
So I would say it's a mix of all of the above. I've worked with certain Amazon business owners or e-commerce business owners that maybe have already exited a previous brand, and they go into that process knowing I need to build a quality brand. I need to have a bunch of cohesive products under this brand, not a random array, because they know that that will allow them to exit at a higher multiple. We also have people who where maybe they were working and they started a side hustle and just maybe selling on Amazon or on Etsy or Shopify. And as they have continued to grow, they have left their original jobs and now are focused 100% on doing a lot of the fulfillment, growing the brand. So they probably, when they entered the marketplace, didn't think about exiting. But now that exiting has become a much bigger topic, they know a couple of brokerage firms in the U.S. and Europe specialize in digital asset sales. Far fewer specialize in e-commerce like Dragonflip. So I would say that there is a decent awareness of that there are brokers for digital businesses, but there's not as much specialization as maybe you would see for brick and mortar brokerage firms. So it's a kind of a mix of all of the above, but that's why I'm doing this program and trying to get the word out that there are more specialized brokerage firms if you have an e-commerce business, or they have special editions for SaaS and other niches as well.
Yeah, the inspiration of this series has been to shine a spotlight on uh, how do you prepare a business for sale, and that's why I love having you on the program. And speaking of that, when it comes to an e-commerce business, what are the most important elements? If you can just give us a 10,000-foot view of what's most important to have in place to make an e-commerce business attractive for sale.
Yeah, I will give you a top three. I mean, the first thing is high quality financials. And, I recommend anyone that we work with get a CPA or get an accountant to really get your financials in shape to go to market, because nothing deteriorates the trust between a buyer and a seller than questionable financials. So that is the most important thing. You want to prove to the market in general that you've run your business well and you have the financials to back that up. Financial trends are another key issue. I would say things that common benchmarks that would certainly increase your valuation multiple would be growing in revenue 30% year over year and having a profitability of over 25% profit margin. So those are some of the common benchmarks. And then the last thing we look at, especially for an e-commerce business, is the quality of the brand. I mentioned a little bit earlier that you want to have a cohesive product offering, business products that complement each other rather than a random array of products under your brand name. So having a quality brand and then having some sort of protections in terms of IP or patents, trademarks, or even we call it a review mode. It's having a ton of reviews for your product that are positive. Because if you think about it from a buyer's perspective, if I have two products when I'm on Amazon and one has 2,000 reviews, the other has 200, I'm going to go with the one with 2,000 reviews because that's just protect that there's more evidence that this is a quality product. So if you have those sort of things in place to protect your brand and to prove your brand quality, that will certainly increase your valuation multiple. So I think those are the big three when we're assessing an e-commerce business.
Terrific. Nicholas, what inspired you to get into this field of helping e-commerce business owners, helping sell their businesses? How did you get started in the business?
So yeah, I actually started at Flippa, which is a marketplace. I would say it's like eBay, but for digital assets when I first finished business school. And I had really no background in it. I was fresh out of business school looking for a job. And I was just so interested in speaking with the business owners, figuring out, talking to them about why they started their businesses in the first place, and helping them exit and get reap the benefits of all the work that they put into developing their business, either if it was SaaS content or e-commerce. So I was really drawn to being able to work with entrepreneurs and learning about the various valuation drivers for the various niches. So it wasn't on purpose. I did not think about this when I was in college, but after I learned about Flippa and learned about that, the whole M&A for digital assets, it was very enticing to me. So I kind of stayed in that lane.
Terrific. Nicholas, before I ask you my last question, is there anything that I didn't think to ask that you feel is important to share with business owners of e-commerce businesses that are considering selling in today's economy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing and thing I would like anyone to take away from this is to know the current valuation of your business. Dragonflip, we offer free valuation services. There are other places online that will also value your business, but knowing the true market value of your business will help you assess opportunities. It'll help you inform your exit plan. It just gives you so much information. It'll help. Is another way to even monitor your year-over-year growth if you know how your business's valuation has changed year over year. So I think the most important thing that anyone can take away from this is to know the current market value of your business.
For e-commerce business owners listening to the program now that are interested in getting a hold of you, perhaps getting your help, how can they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can go to dragonflip.com. We have a valuation calculator there. There's also a link that will allow you to set up a meeting with me. I'm happy to speak with any business owners about their valuation, the sales process, everything. So you can reach me at dragonflip.com, or you can send me an email, Nicholas, Nicholas, at dragonflip.com is my email. So I'm happy to connect either way.
Nicholas, this has been terrific. I really appreciate you stopping by and sharing with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a pleasure, and I'm so thankful that you had me on the program.
That was Nicholas Brown. He's head of M&A with Dragonflip. And this segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.